The tragedy of the forgotten, falling into the hell of homelessness. Virginia, a place known for its radiant beaches and historic capital, is also where thousands sleep beneath overpasses, hidden in the shadows of a glittering cityscape. But the question is, are you willing to face the truth hiding behind the glossy curtain of tourism? This isn't just another travel documentary, it's a raw journey into the most suffocating corners of modern American society. Like, comment, and subscribe to join us as we uncover the hidden truths behind a so-called tourist paradise that's quietly falling apart. On the surface, Virginia appears like a perfect postcard, the majestic Appalachian Mountains to the west, sun-soaked beaches stretching along the eastern coast, and charming historic towns that preserve the legacy of America's past. The people here are warm and welcoming, carrying the grace and pride of Southern tradition. Every spring, cherry blossoms bloom along the Potomac River, gently reminding visitors that Virginia was once the birthplace of freedom and civilization. But beneath that picturesque image lies a growing shadow, a dark reality spreading quietly, day by day. Beyond the smooth roads and the crowds of tourists applauding the sunset over Virginia Beach, lie crumbling buildings, piles of household waste, and thousands of lives quietly struggling through the night. Virginia, a state once seen as a symbol of mainstream American culture, is now facing a full-blown homelessness crisis. In 2024, nearly 7,020 people were experiencing homelessness in Virginia, a staggering 18% increase from the previous year. Projections for 2025 estimate that number could rise to between 7,500 and 8,000, an astonishing figure roughly equal to the population of a small city like Blacksburg. On the streets of Richmond or along the James River, makeshift camps paint a heartbreaking and disheartening picture of a harsh reality. Characters like Lisa, a single mother who was suddenly laid off and now lives in her car with her 2 young children, or Michael, a veteran back from the battlefield, struggling with PTSD and alcohol addiction, stand in stark contrast to the glossy travel vlogs exploring foreign countries on YouTube. Share your thoughts on these thought-provoking stories in the comments. Because behind every number isn't just data, it's a life. But why are so many people falling into such hardship in a place often seen as the land of opportunity? The answer isn't simple, but it's undeniably tied to the harsh realities of economic inequality, unchecked urbanization, and a widespread housing crisis. In Northern Virginia, a hub for major tech and defense corporations, rent prices hit $2,200 per month in 2024. For someone earning an average wage, that means over 50% of their income goes straight to housing. It's an invisible trap that sends thousands spiraling after just one setback, a job loss, an illness, or even something as simple as a spike in gas or grocery prices. In 2024, only 5,000 affordable housing units were built in Virginia, a number that falls far short of the more than 100,000 units currently needed. When supply can't meet demand, prices skyrocket, and low-income residents are left with nowhere to go. At the same time, temporary eviction protections put in place after COVID expired, pushing thousands more families into homelessness. The situation is made even worse by the lack of attention to mental health and substance abuse. Nearly 25% of people experiencing homelessness in Virginia are battling depression, anxiety disorders, or opioid addiction. In 2023 alone, there were over 2,000 overdose deaths, leaving behind not just tragic numbers, but real people who no longer have a home to return to. We're witnessing the consequences of a society focused on building skyscrapers, while forgetting to lay the foundation for compassion. Slums are springing up just steps away from upscale shopping centers, a painful paradox that reflects a deep breakdown in the way social resources are distributed. If you've ever watched a documentary about homelessness, you'll notice the recurring images: a mother forcing a faint smile as her child does homework in the dark, or a man in a tattered coat clutching his backpack like it holds his entire life. They are not just stories of personal struggle, they are reflections of a collective failure. And if you've made it this far, please like the video to let us know you're not turning away. Subscribe to the channel so we can share this story even farther. Because if no one speaks up, silence will let everything fade into the shadows. Even though the numbers are heartbreaking, there are still sparks of light in the darkness, places where people aren't just waiting to be saved, but are finding the strength to climb out of the depths themselves. Lisa, the single mother who once lived in her car, has now found temporary shelter through the Safe Homes for Kids program. She's still working 2 jobs, but now her children have beds to sleep in and books to study. "All I need is a chance, I won't waste it," she says, her eyes shining despite the exhaustion. Michael, the veteran living with PTSD, received mental health support through Medicaid's expanded program. Thanks to group therapy and a part-time job in a community kitchen, he's starting to rebuild trust in himself. "I never thought I'd laugh genuinely again," he admits. Programs like housing choice vouchers, expanded shelter beds, and the construction of long-term supportive housing are creating a fragile yet invaluable safety net for those who've nearly been forgotten. Support from the community, nonprofit organizations, and especially individuals who truly understand the issue is more essential now than ever before. Exploring Virginia isn't just about passing through stunning landmarks. This travel documentary serves as a reminder that to truly understand a nation, you have to look at how it treats its most vulnerable. We've just taken a journey, not for entertainment, but to confront reality. A documentary about homelessness isn't just a warning, it's a wake-up call to our shared humanity. And Virginia is just one small slice of the picture. Similar stories are unfolding all over the world, in places where skyscrapers rise while people sink deeper into the margins of society. The homelessness crisis in Virginia is the result of a complex web of factors: skyrocketing rent, a shortage of affordable housing, economic pressure, untreated mental health issues, and uncontrolled urbanization. Yet, it is also here that we witness the remarkable resilience of ordinary people with extraordinary strength. They haven't given up, and that means we can't look away. When crafted with heart and vision, a travel documentary isn't just a ticket to new places, it becomes a mirror reflecting the true face of a nation, both its shine and its shadows. Travel isn't only about sightseeing, it's about understanding. About seeing not just the landscapes, but the people who live within them. What can we, those fortunate enough to live under a warm roof, do? Share this video as a small act of awareness. Leave a comment to add your voice. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the most moving and honest glimpses into real life. Because big change begins with small realizations, with empathy, and with the choice not to look away. We believe that if each person who watches this video takes just 1 minute to reflect, then tomorrow's world could be just a little better than today's. Thank you for staying with us until the end of this journey. And remember, wherever there are people without homes, there remains a question for all of society to answer.